Good afternoon, everybody. How's it going?
Woohoo!
Good. You know, as an entrepreneur, I always had this point of view that nice guys finished first, and I think that it's a huge misunderstanding in the universe. And it's just been incredibly exciting to see brands start the process of that journey. And I'm just very, very humbled and grateful to be a part of this event, and just honestly thank everyone here and watching at home for being a part of it. Obviously, I share the stage with three incredible individuals, and I'm going to give them a quick second to introduce themselves to all of you, and then we're going to jump right into it.
Perfect. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Global Citizen, for having me. My name is Nicole LaPointe Jameson. I am the CEO of Evil Geniuses, a global esports organization. But more importantly, I'm proud to say I'm the CEO of a gaming organization that reflects what it demands to see in gaming culture. And we believe that you cannot have competitive success nor commercial success without cultural awareness.
These people are awesome. We've become best friends backstage, so I'm just like giddy. I'm like, yeah, you are. Hi, I'm Jordan Fisher, television, film actor, producer, glorified storyteller. I pretend to be other people for a living. And at the end of the day, telling the story and starting the conversation is why I'm here and doing the things that I do. I wear a handful of other hats. I'm a co-owner of an esports organization based in Dallas, Texas called Complexity. On the board for Fourth Frame, and an IP advisor for the first gaming-centric film studio, and thrilled to be a part of this, and to be surrounded by people that all want to not only make changes, but equip others to do so. So it starts with the conversation, and I'm thrilled to be here today.
I'm Portia Blunt, and I am the Vice President of Global Apparel and Creative Direction at Reebok. And under that remit, I also oversee our human rights efforts and purpose for the brand. So I'm really excited to be here, and all of the conversations today have been so invigorating and motivating. So please bear with us as we close you out.
Cheers. Well, let's actually start with you on this. What does it mean to you, or how do you think about, or what's your perspective on the idea of brands doing social good? Like, how do you synthesize that, and how do you see it?
So I see it as, don't step into the ring unless you mean it, honestly. I mean, it's a waste of time. Don't waste my time as a consumer if you aren't grounded in purpose, and then you are putting that front and forward to the consumer. So for me, Authentic Brands is our parent company, and our ownership steps in leadership in that regard. And from a Reebok perspective, we are grounded in purpose. If you know Reebok, you know, we are quite disruptive and irreverent, and we don't really care what everybody else is doing. So if it's not cool to be in the community, then so be it, but that's where we need to be, because it's the right thing to do. So that's how I see that. I see it as stand in your purpose and don't give up about what everybody else is doing.
Love it. Let's go down the line. How do you see it?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's essentially that. I mean, we're in a smart world these days. I mean, I think that we're all painfully aware of quite a lot of things that are going on, whether it be our community or from a global perspective. So I think that the tangibility for people being allowed the access to stand for what they believe in, what they work for every day, I think is a really powerful thing. I think, we live in a very much creator-based economy and marketplace right now. Everyone here knows this, and at the end of the day, creators are not focused on hitting their KPIs throughout the year. They're focused on reaching their community and having a conversation with them, encouraging, inspiring, and then actually making a change and a difference. And we get to see that manifested in a physical sense with events like Tapman Tailgate that was held at the Ford Stadium this past year in Dallas. It was awesome. We threw this thing together in the course of like 6 months, and from this thing was birthed this incredible opportunity for all of this world-renowned streamers community to be able to come together, be together for whatever that thing is, when we start getting the human component involved, when we start getting truly back into these communities, the schools, and lining the pockets of those that, from a moral perspective, physical perspective, of those that believe in the thing and really want to incite and see real change, that's when we're making that big difference. And I genuinely believe that it doesn't necessarily have to start with the creators, but that is one massive, massive leap forward in the right direction. So I'm happy to see that more brands are getting involved with that and seeing the power of it. You know, you take somebody like Mr. Beast, who has a chocolate bar that was the fastest selling chocolate bar in all of Walmart history throughout America on the day of its release. Kids are getting their own money in their pocket and running to the store for this thing. Hershey's can't do that, right? Because they can't reach the same thing, the same place, the same heart and soul that these creators, that kids come home from school every day basing their culture and their conversation and laughter around. And when those people stand for the right things and are inspiring, then we're in good shape.
Love it. Thoughts on this from your perspective?
Of course, I take the role, so esports, especially as it's an up-and-coming, not just entertainment form, but sport and social mobility form. And I take especially my role very seriously in the fact that there's a reason that you see, especially in America or on a global scale, certain demographics, especially economic demographics, trend to certain sports or activities, which compounds in opportunity and mobility. And esports being new, not having a playbook, and theoretically not being as gendered or economically segregated as other platforms of sport, creating opportunity for people to participate is something we take really seriously. High tides raise all ships. The more people realize they have a home, have a place, and have a real career opportunity to get ahead in the gaming scene. So similar to what Jordan said on the creator side, on the athletic side of esports, making sure we break some of the problems of historical traditional sport and entertainment in terms of access, representation, economic distribution. We really center ourselves in. And then it helps us as a business as we get a wider breadth of talent and representation.
So I think we'd be remiss to not take advantage of you two being here and go a little bit deeper into esports. I think a lot of individuals in the room are aware that it's been emerging. What does a room like this maybe not see or may not know about the current state of that ecosystem? And to your point, I think so much of what is inspiring to many people in this room is, as the world is clearly being disrupted, whether it's AI or blockchain or new trends or new sports or new faces having the hearts and minds of the youth, you know, that opens up extraordinary opportunity. And so, you know, I just want to double click knowing the two of you are so deep and I think could cross over into some opportunities or thought starters. What do we need to know?
Oh, man. Well, quite a lot of things. I don't necessarily recommend that, you know, you go to our gaming on Reddit and get all of your information on what's going on in our community and in our industry there, albeit a lot of truths. There are a lot of exaggerations. I think at the end of the day, we are seeing the power of brands and the big bangs of certain games like Fortnite. Fortnite changed the way that we can see any IP be marketed, product be distributed, top down. It's one of the cleanest ways that we've seen a gaming company come together and watch. I mean, from what was it, like 13 developers with Polygon, and now, you know, a multi-billion-dollar company watch the likes of Marvel and Disney and DC and you name the IP get in lines outside of their facilities in North Carolina to beg to be a part of this thing because of the cultural foundation that it sets. We now can see a game, and I'm just giving this one example because it is a big bang that happened in our industry. Can anyone here remember the moment that Drake and Ninja played Fortnite together for the first time? Hey, those of you that raised your hands, have you ever played Fortnite before? Yeah? That's pretty incredible, right? Like, to me, the fact that a blue-haired gamer that, you know, granted first gamer on the cover of ESPN magazine that has spearheaded a lot of our community, I'm obviously, and industry, I'm very proud of everything that he's done there. What blows my mind as a just as a business person and as somebody that loves video games in general, is how there is one right now that quite literally everyone in the world that calls himself a gamer plays, that incorporates almost everything you love about pop culture and community in one place, and exemplifies that. And
Love that.
that's one of the cool things that's happening
Yep.
in the gaming industry right now. But one that continues to blow my mind. What about you?
And for you?
So much open opportunity in the gaming scene, and I would just say awareness and everyone taking a part is a really good step, because there's a lot of opportunity for what this shapes out to be, what this looks like, and awareness, understanding, and helping people see it and be it because they see it, I think is really critical right now. The volume of eyes, hearts, and wallets that we have of Gen Z, Gen Alpha globally is something that is powerful and relevant to any brand in the world, and making sure the connotations of gaming aren't just things you dismiss and push to the side, but actively are thoughtful around and against and participate in is important. So I just appreciate that people are open-minded to listening, learning, and integrating more. One thing I'm really excited with, too, around this is partnering more with Global Citizen to help bring gaming as a medium of awareness and entertainment and go forward opportunities, as just like music and fashion, gaming is culture.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of exciting news to come.
Portia, I want to make sure before we forget, because we only have 7 or so minutes left, you have a pretty big announcement as we were hanging out backstage, so I'm going to give you that platform with ABG and Global Citizens, so why don't you take the mic on that?
Yeah, so everyone should brace themselves because this is a big one. It's a great one. I'm excited about it. I'm thrilled. But Authentic Brands and Global Citizen is in partnership together with across assortment of the brands and under that portfolio to include Reebok. We'll be the first to co-brand collaborative product to bring new consumers and new global citizens to the fold. And we're extremely excited about that. So we'll be doing the first drop in October, and we will have Reebok Global Citizen Take Action, which is an exclusive mark that has been developed to bring more empowered youth, empowered global citizens into the realm. And we're incredibly excited about it because our consumers are new in terms of what it means to truly take action, whether their pulse and their passion lies within environment, whether their pulse and their passion lies within representation and equity and fighting poverty, because we know that Gen Z consumer is fighting day in and day out. It may not be a traditional way that we used to, but they're doing it, and they are proud about it. And so what we want to do is encourage that through product, through marketing, every way that we can to get them involved, and we're incredibly excited to do that. So you'll see that over a course of various drops across brands. Again, like I said, Reebok will be first, and you'll see some more things happening into the next year and into the fall. So we're really excited about that.
You said something early on that I want to touch on with all three of you before we get out of here, and with the theme of like, let's stop talking, let's start doing. In the doing, where do brands get it wrong? You know, I think we can all sit here and use not authentic, but go a little further, given that you're paying attention, you're in the trenches. What's happening? Like, what's the disconnect operationally? Is it just as simple as the intent is full of crap and they just want to sell more stuff? Or is there a second or third step on the execution side?
I think, Gary, first of all, I think yes on all of those things.
Yep.
We're speaking frank amongst friends, right? Yes. I do think fundamentally, though, in order to be successful in being grounded in purpose, in product and business, is really meaning what you say.
Yeah.
And that starts with leadership. And so leadership has to believe it. It's very difficult to swim upstream. And so although the broader community in your company may be, rally crying and saying, we've got to stand for this, if leadership doesn't believe it, it's going to be incredibly challenging. And so I think the first step for business, don't step into a ring to just check the box. You have to believe it. And so if that's not your mark, if that's not your cause, let someone else take the mantle.
Yep.
If it is your cause, stand up and be about it, take that action. And be okay with what comes with it, because it's not easy work. And that's part of the problem. People think that it's easy. So from my personal experience, and so I lead purpose-driven product creation for a global organization. And so I have the autonomy to do those things without question. I have a leader that does not question, but oh, by the way, he believes. He believes that Black and brown communities are limited to access. He knows that to be a fact, and he's allowing me and my team to reach them, to tell their stories, amplify for them through our human rights platforms. And although it's not a big splash, because by the way, we're not ever going to be incredibly loud about it, but the work matters. Because a month ago, 2 months ago, I was with kids in Brooklyn, 15-year-old middle school and junior high kids who never knew that they could design shoes. We give them that access that what you can be, you see it, you can be it. They're designing shoes, we create it for them, and now they know. That's on their trajectory. That is the impact. It's every little kernel that then builds into something big. But you have to believe in that, and you have to stand in something that is authentic, but you've got to be real about that. And if it's not real for you, walk away, because it's okay. Your consumers can sniff out a fake.
100%. I want to give the two of you 1 minute each as we wrap up. Fire away, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, you that was the mic drop. I mean, we very much all, I think, feel the exact same way. We were talking about something very similar backstage, and knowing your why, right? That's one of the first things that I do when I sit down with any creator, any network, any studio, anyone that's trying to put this thing out there that they believe in, whether that's brand and product and marketing and whatnot. Like you said, consumers can sniff it out. They're smart. And so at the beginning of this chat, we are in a place where everyone that we are speaking to and trying to connect with are much smarter than we give them credit for. And that little touch of authenticity very much goes a long way. I can almost guarantee you there is a creator out there that has the power to push the thing that you want to push, because their why and your why align. When you find those people, those are real partners, and I promise you, hanging on to them and showing loyalty to them will show loyalty to your company. And that's real. Again, we're looking at change, we're looking at Global Citizen being able to equip people, not just inspire them to do, but equip them with the tools to do so. And we can, and I think that, again, being able to have these kinds of conversations is a really big way to get that thing started. And then also ensuring authenticity, recognizing that as a brand, as a company, when you look to your left or right, there are other people that are trying to run in the same direction as you, and you can use each other to empower and move forward.
Love it.
Exactly. In our last 10 seconds, leading with the why, but making sure you walk the walk and not just talk the talk is so important in this age of digital accessibility, quick communication, and really unprecedented transparency around every facet of brands and businesses. Really important to make sure top down you're aligned on what you're going to do to move in a direction forward together.
I want to thank Jordan, Nicole, Portia so much. I want to thank all of you for being here. Time allocation is a real thing to all of us, and this is just going to take everyone. And so I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.